and I forgot to do my music. So we're just starting out. It's late. Just got out of a bylaws committee meeting. Needed to spend a few minutes with the husband. I should have made this show for later, but better late than never, right? But I can't believe I forgot to do my intro music, but that's okay. Thank you, everyone who has shown up here late. Sorry, little notifications on my Apple Watch. I'm tired, but I wanted to get a history show in. So let's do the YouTube stuff, and then we will get right into it. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I am like 5 followers away from having 22,000. Go follow me on Twitter. Like, go to a cemetery and get a bunch of dead Democrats to follow me on Twitter. Want to get over that hump tonight. And last but not least, I truly appreciate your support on patreon.com/Pink Flame of Liberty. It helps support the show, and it helps support me in my liberty work. That's really all I can say for that, and all super chats and super thanks matter. So let's get right down to history, but to give you a little bit maybe of a preview of what's coming up. Oh my goodness, my laptop I'm one of those people who dump everything on the computer desktop. Like, if you looked at my desktop, you would run away shrieking because it's got a million files on it. Yeah, it really tweaks me as well. But I've always got many irons in the fire. But I've probably got 10 shows downloaded on my laptop that I need to go through and extract out clips. And no, it's not all Matt Walsh. So there is a couple Matt Walsh on there. There's some Ben Shapiro. There's some Michael Knowles. But there's also some from James Lindsay. And that won't be a critique. It will be kind of an interacting with, because James Lindsay is a big brain. Like, I am so impressed with his show. Don't agree all the time, but it is so thoughtful and well done. I think it's called Modern Discourses. I forget. It's super good, by the way. I would recommend you go check it out. So now let's get to the history. Oh, my glasses are over here. I'm so used to them being on my head. Okay, so let's see where we want to get. Oh my goodness, this is what we're going to read. I just picked out a sentence out of it, and it reminded me of something from a couple conventions. I got some stories to tell you. So the article we're dealing with this time is Convention Receives Full News Coverage. So that's pretty good for 1976. It says Libertarians went to the convention in New York City to nominate candidates and adopt a platform. These goals were accomplished. Well, that's nice. But a significant byproduct of the Libertarian Party convention was the national recognition gained from widespread coverage in the news media. COVID really messed us up. So if you're newer to the party, you didn't get really the excitement of a presidential nominating campaign. My very, very first convention was 2016. I got assaulted at that convention, but that's a whole other story. Other than that little hiccup, that little snafu, it was fun. Very exciting. CNN all over the place. Just delegates all over the place, waving the signs. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. Damn, my hair is messy. It's really bothering me. And I am hoping 2024 will be that way. I know a lot of people have critiqued the decision to have it in DC, but it being there is going to draw a lot of news coverage. If you can go, go. You will not regret it. Conventions are a lot of fun when you're not the convention secretary. I mean, I have a lot of fun in another way. It's very rewarding, but it's not like the 2016 convention when I had not a care in the world. I had no responsibilities. I was just brand new. And boy, did I have like such a good time. So undoubtedly, the convention was a major news event. The party can no longer be labeled not serious. hold our beer, because I think we can. For the national media is taking it seriously. When the AP, the UPI, the New York Times, the Christian Science Monitor, that's a weird flex, NBC, CBS, ABC, major radio stations, and other highly respected newspapers devote space and time to the activities of a relatively small group of people, that group has achieved significance. And I agree, we have achieved significance, but I think a lot of people still dismiss us as not serious. They have different definitions of serious as well. And I'm glad that we don't take ourselves entirely seriously, like we have fun. Nor did the media portray libertarians as crazy or splinter groupies. They sure do now, and I don't care. It's our party, and we'll do what we want. Rather, coverage of the convention was, for the most part, fair and straightforward. United Press International, which is UPI. I don't even know if they're still around. I know we looked that up in a past show, and I can't remember, but they're certainly not as big as AP now. They were really big in the 70s. Featured a pre-convention story equating the LP to other political parties. Where is my pen? Because we're going to look for that article. So let me circle that. It says, on a more modest scale, said UPI, the LP is doing just what the Democrats and Republicans will do next year, nominate candidates for president and vice president, and write a platform for them to run on. That's actually inaccurate. We don't write a new platform every convention. I think I think at one point, I'm not sure if they still do, I don't know if they necessarily write a new platform, but they kind of like re-adopt the platform, the Republicans. Am I right about that? Something makes me think that they handle things a little differently than we do. Nomination and platform. After the convention, UPI described the nomination of Roger McBride and David Bergland for president and vice president and detailed many of the Libertarian Party platform positions. Libertarian stands on voluntarism, free speech, taxation, Social Security, victimless crimes, and foreign policy were accurately portrayed. The Associated Press ran 3 stories, a preview of the convention, and separate coverage of the nominations of McBride and Bergland. As with UPI, AP outlined party positions and stated that the LP embodies a philosophy which champions personal rights over those of the omnipotent state. Wow, that is some really good coverage, isn't it? So we're going to skip past so you can see they got a bunch of coverage, but this is what drew my eye. It says, no flags, no Pledge of Allegiance, no national anthem, no Girl Scouts, not a single 10-minute appeal for divine guidance from a cardinal, a rabbi, or a born-again Baptist. The Libertarians proclaim themselves the party of principle, and the first principle is no more baloney. I love that. Now, I remember, I think it was 2016, where someone got to the mic and was like, very offended that there wasn't an American flag to be had in the place. And I just thought that was funny. There have been past conventions that have been pretty patriotic, but that hasn't been recently. If you go look, I can't remember what year it was. I think it's 2008. If you go to the Wayback Machine and look at the old LP site, you can tell we were very like neocon leaning then. I'm not saying we were neocon, but we were certainly much more traditionally right leaning back then. Like you go look at the old LP site and it's all red, white, and blue and eagles and hello, eagle. I mean, anyway. And it might just been for a short period of time, but I remember seeing it, and I got like I got Forrest Whitaker eye over it. Okay. So, and I know what story I wanted to tell you guys. I'm not going to say what convention it was, but there was a state convention I went to, and this was a long time ago. The people then aren't, I know there's some people who are in the audience that are still involved in the party, but I don't think the leadership was. It was the weirdest convention I'd ever been to. It was like weird in like a very cool way. Well, some of it was weird in a not cool way, but it was in such a libertarian way. I'm not going to say the state. So there was a presentation on chemtrails, And this wasn't in the South at all, but there was a Confederate flag in the back of the room, which was creepy. That wasn't the cool thing. And they did open with a prayer, and then someone marched around the room with one of those big flagpoles with the big-ass eagle on the top, you know? And then someone in the audience got up and was like, there are anarchists in the room. They probably feel uncomfortable by you marching around with that flag. And we were told, don't be uncomfortable. Feel free to stay seated. It was the weirdest thing. And then the person marching around with the flag accidentally went up too high, and it was a drop ceiling, and the eagle went through the drop ceiling. And I'm sitting there with Wayne, and we look at each other, and we're like, okay. It pierced a little bit. It didn't like, go through the entire thing, but it was like, that was interesting. And they were opposed to drug legalization. It was the weirdest LP convention I've ever been to. And I was brand new in the party, and I was like, what the heck is going on? That was fun. So, yeah. Oh, and when I was at the DC Hilton, so we were doing the after it was on this LNC. We've been to the DC Hilton twice, or was it? No, it wasn't last LNC. Was this? Well, I can't remember. It was one of the LNCs where it's the first time I'd been to the DC Hilton. And it is a beautiful convention floor. Like, this is so perfect for a convention. But they have, because presidents have spoken there, and allegedly there's an underground bunker. So behind stage, there's this long curved hallway. And the reason why it's curved is because that's where they take the president through to go to the stage to do like press announcements and things like that. But it's a curved hallway so that no would-be assassin can get a clear line of sight. But all the way down this curved hallway are portraits of all the past presidents and the first ladies. So we're with the hotel tour person, or the event planner, the sales rep. And they're very proud of it's a very historic building. There's a lot to be proud of, but they're, pointing out everything. And I go, hey, I have a question. And I'm like, at our convention, can we cover these up? And she looked at me like I just sprouted a second head. It was glorious. Anyway, I didn't get an answer, by the way, if we could cover them up. Okay, let's see here if there's anything else. And it says the Monitor, which I suppose is the Christian Science Monitor, described the LP philosophy as live and let live. It says attention on the Libertarian Party was no means confined to the print medium, and talked about radio shows and that sort of thing. In sum, the 1975 Libertarian Party Convention brought libertarianism to the attention of millions of people who were previously unaware of its existence. After 4 years of dramatic growth, virtually in secret, the party is now reckoned as a potentially significant force by the media. So that's pretty cool. I'm really, really looking forward to this convention, by the way, if you haven't figured that out. So I really do think this is all we're going to cover for tonight. I just wanted to get a little bit of history in there as we're starting to run out of month, and I've been doing so many other shows. There will not be a show tomorrow. Friday nights I try to reserve for my husband, but there probably will be one on Saturday, so we shall see. Thank you to those watching, and I hope you have an awesome evening. Bye-bye.
living, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians, or choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business, not because they